Hi, this is Amy Romeo from the jewelry making and craft blog amyromeo.com, and on this channel I share fun and easy jewelry making and craft projects. Today in this video I will be showing you how to make these cute little penguin earrings from faux leather, heat transfer vinyl, and a Cricut. You can use a Cricut Maker or an Explorer Air 2 or even the Cricut Joy. I'll have the SVG earring template file for you on my blog so you can download it and make these cute little earrings for yourself. And if you like this video, I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell so you know when I post great new videos like this one. So if you're ready to learn how to make these cute little penguin earrings, let's get started. To make these penguin earrings, I'll be using my Cricut Maker, but you can also make them with the Cricut Explorer Air 2 or the Cricut Joy. I'll link to my video about making faux leather earrings with a Joy, so you can check that out. I'll be using a purple strong grip cutting mat for the faux leather and a green standard grip cutting mat for the heat transfer vinyl. And I'll be using some black faux leather, and you can use either the smooth or the pebbled texture. I wanted to show you how that looks on the penguin. This is the pebbled and this is the smooth, so it's really just your preference or what's available. And I'll also be using an Easy Press Mini to heat press the heat transfer vinyl onto the faux leather. And this is a little Teflon sheet that I cut from a larger piece, and I'm using my heat pressing pad. You can also use a regular Easy Press or even a home iron on very low heat with no steam. I'll be using a weeding tool, scissors, some blue painter's tape, flat nose jewelry making pliers, and I'll give you two different versions of the earrings, one with pre-made holes so the Cricut will cut the holes, and then one where you'll punch the holes yourself. And I use a 1/16 inch hole punch to punch my holes, and I'll link to this in the description. That's super helpful. And earring hooks and jump rings. And you'll also need the SVG cut file for the penguin earrings. I have them on my blog, and let me show you now how to go over to my blog and get that file so you can make this project. To get the penguin earring SVG, you'll want to go to the resource library on my blog at amyromeo.com. If you don't have a password, you'll click here on the resource library and then get a password, and you'll fill out a form and the password will be emailed to you instantly. You'll return to the home page, click on resource library and enter the library, and you will look for file number 157. I don't have it here right now because I haven't uploaded the design, but it will be here when you see this video, 157, and this will say penguin earrings, and you'll click here and a folder will download onto your device, and you will unzip the folder so that you can upload the file to Cricut Design Space. So let's do that. In Cricut Design Space, I'll click upload, upload image, and I will browse to where the SVG file is. I'll click on it to select it, and that'll show us a preview of the penguins. I'll click save, click on the penguins to select them, and click insert images. And that will bring the penguins onto the canvas. And you can see that there are two choices. There are penguin earrings with pre-cut earring holes and penguins without holes. And I want to give you the choice because some people like the Cricut to cut the holes and some people like to punch the holes with a hole punch. Sometimes I find the Cricut doesn't perfectly cut out the hole and it gets a little frustrating, so it's easier for me just to know that I can punch my own holes and get perfect clean holes every time. If you do choose to have the Cricut punch the holes, that's totally fine. I would recommend also having a hole punch as a backup, because even if the hole doesn't cut all the way through, you can use the hole punch, and the partial hole will be a good guideline for you to know where to punch the hole. So from this screen, you'll want to decide which set of penguins you're going to use, and then hide all the other ones so that you're only cutting the one pair that you want to. These are already sized for earrings, so I think they're good just the way they are. I'll click the Make It button. And Design Space will sort out our different colored mats. And this project is pretty simple. There's black for the background, which we'll cut from faux leather, and then there's 3 heat transfer vinyl mats. You'll want to mirror the heat transfer vinyl mats, all of them. So click on them, click mirror. I like to do that up front so I don't forget. The faux leather mat, it doesn't need to be mirrored because there's a pair of already mirrored shapes and the heat transfer vinyl will fit perfectly on them the way they are. I'll click the continue button. I like to cut the faux leather shape first. So I like to select the faux leather paper thin setting whenever I'm cutting faux leather. If you're using an Explore Air 2, before you can choose faux leather as your material, you'll need to turn your dial to custom. So I will use faux leather paper thin. If you don't have this as a favorite like I do, you can click on browse all materials and search for it. So I will click on that, and I like to set the pressure to more. And I will show you how I set up and cut my mat. And then I wanted to mention for these other mats that we'll cut, I like to use the washi sheet setting. I find that works best for me when I'm cutting intricate vinyl shapes. You could also use the vinyl setting. I leave the pressure at default when I'm cutting regular heat transfer vinyl, so that would be the white mat and the yellow mat. And then this glitter mat, which I will be cutting from green glitter, I'll use the glitter vinyl setting, and I usually do like to use more pressure. So let's go back here to our faux leather mat with more pressure, and I'll show you how I set up the mat to cut and how I cut the faux leather mat. So I've looked at the mat preview screen and I saw that the faux leather mat was going to cut the little penguin shapes from a piece of material a little smaller than 4 inches wide and a little bigger than 2 inches tall. So I've cut a piece of faux leather that size. I like to put a small piece of faux leather on the mat. It's easier for it to hold down when it's small than if you put a big piece of material. And one way we're going to help this faux leather cut well is by using the blue painter's tape. So put the faux leather pretty side down on the purple strong grip cutting mat and press it well all over with your hands. And then we're going to tape down on all sides. This is going to help keep this piece of faux leather from shifting while the Cricut is cutting. I like to peel away this blue painter's tape when I'm finished, and I just save it and I reuse it over and over again. So that's a good tip. So you'll want to make sure whenever you're cutting faux leather that your star wheels are moved out of the way, and you'll press the double arrow button to load the mat. And we already have Design Space set up to cut with the faux leather paper thin setting, so we'll just press C to cut. When the cut's complete, I like to take a sharp weeding tool and lift the edges and see if the cut went all the way through. And it looks like it did. If it didn't, I can just press C again to repeat the cut, as long as I haven't unloaded the mat. So these little shapes will just pop right up. If there's any little fuzzies left on the mat, you can trim them up with little small scissors, but these look pretty good. So now I'll return to Cricut Design Space and I will cut the heat transfer vinyl mats and weed them, and then I'll show you how to press these earrings together. So now that I've got all the faux leather and heat transfer vinyl layers cut and weeded and cut apart, it's time to start layering and pressing the earrings together. So I'm just gonna first start with the white layer, and I just want to put his little white body on. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the eyes have a little tiny bit of space on the side, and basically that his belly is center. Very scientific process here. I've got my Easy Press Mini on my low setting. I'll cover with my small piece of Teflon sheet and just press. I just want to press for maybe 5 or 6, 7 seconds so that the heat transfer vinyl will adhere, and then I will peel it off. And repeat with the other side. And then I'll repeat with the nose and the feet. So for the little feet, you want to line them up. You want to line them up with the bottom of the faux leather feet. If you don't get it right, just peel it up. Try it again. And lastly, the little scarf. I'm going quickly while I'm doing this, obviously, so you'll want to take your time and make sure you line up your scarf with the faux leather that protects, that supports the scarf underneath. Always peel your faux leather, your heat transfer vinyl carefully. And if it lifts, like that one's lifting, then just press it some more. And these little guys are, whoops, these little guys are pressed. They are warm, so I'm going to place them under something heavy for just 5 minutes to let them cool in a flat position, and then I'll show you how I punch the holes and attach the earring hooks. If you've used the SVG with the pre-cut holes, then you should be good to go. If the Cricut didn't cut the hole all the way, you can use a sharp tool like your weeding tool to poke the hole all the way through, or you can use the hole punch to finish making the hole where you can tell the Cricut started to make the cut or didn't cut all the way. I like to use the hole punch to make the holes from the beginning, so I just use it like a regular hole punch. I line it up, centered, and I don't want to get too close to the edge of the top of the penguin's head, and punch. And you'll just do that to both sides. And then in order to put on the earring hooks, we need to first turn the loop at the bottom of the earring hook so that the earring will hang straight. So this is how the earring hook will come out of the package, and this is how we need to turn the bottom loop 90 degrees so the earrings will hang straight. And the way I do that is by using one pair of flat nose pliers. I grip the loop with the pliers, and with my thumb and forefinger I hold firmly, and then I just twist one wrist. See if I can show you that. And then that turns that little loop. And then we need to open up our jump ring. Again, we'll use 2 pliers. This is a 6mm jump ring. You could also use a 5mm. There's an opening at the top of the jump ring, and the best way to open a jump ring is with 2 pair of pliers. So I like to grip, basically if the opening is at 12 o'clock, I like to grip at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock with 2 pair of pliers. And I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just going to twist open to open the jump ring. And then while I'm holding on with pliers, I will attach one of my little penguins. And I will put on the earring hook, make sure it's going in the right direction. And then I'll use the second pair of pliers again, and then just twist my wrist in the opposite direction to close up the jump ring. And that's it. The little penguin earrings are complete. I hope you enjoyed that video and you'll be making some cute little penguin earrings yourself. If you liked that video, I have lots more videos on my YouTube channel with great SVG cut file patterns on my blog for you to make different earrings and keychains and all kinds of crafts. So I hope you will check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.